Okie dokie, lemon smoky, greetings and welcome back to another episode of Moxie Bashwell and the adventures of real life and stuff. And today on this episode, we are in the backyard at the workspace, workbench. So many things to say, so little time. The wood is for turning bowls and stuff. It's cherry, or at least the majority of this is cherry. Some of it could be like pecan. I got a bunch of electric motors and electric motor and a bash and hammer. It's funny. And a battery charging thing and some aluminum that needs taken apart. And this is television boards and other stuff. That's not a gold corner BGA, but that's a gold board out of a TV. Not all of them are like that. Most of them are copper boards. I got two computer motherboards right there. These are, I don't know if they're what you would call these the processing units of a television. One of these is got some of these got gold corner BGAs on them. And just for the sake of filling up time, I'm probably not going to get this done. One of these, that's from a telephone. Come on. I'm probably pulling my own chain. They've all fallen into the abyss, and I'm not even aiming the camera at the right spot. Ouch. There's, gold corner BGAs on your televisions, some of them. Processing units, I guess you would call. Yeah, the Sonys have got the, that's not a BGA. The gold. What you got, Mom? Awesome. Most of them have these flip chips and not even like a BGA. Like a regular BGA. Okay, so I've got two of these intelligent cable UPS 2 XM alpha transformer modules that you would find, apparently, I don't know exactly, but that was the whole point of the video. I'm talking to the camera, making a video. Yeah, so that would slide in there to the thing. These two have been marinating for a year now, I would say. That doodad plugged in, and then yeah, you can see the difference, right? This thing pulls out. It's got all that stuff in there, and then this huge transformer. This thing weighs like 70 pounds. This one's all gooped up, and they are coated in the red stuff, the lacquer, whatever you want to call it. But this one is not gooped up. Gooped up, not gooped up. So yeah, and then all these vapes that I find on the streets, if there's a screen on them, there's gold inside, there's gold connector ends in there, and gold little filament wire, flat, like little tiny ribbon wires. Like, this one's not gold plated, but the point that I'm trying to make is that there would be. You don't, I need to take all of this crap apart. I've got more televisions to take apart, and a Apple all-in-one, and many more laptops. I'm probably just gonna toss that at the recycling center. And there's a helicopter. I got lots more units and power boards and stuff like that down there. But yeah, the primary purpose of this video, if I weren't 2 beers deep right now, would just be this here. I think that these are in boxes, like on the street, those big metal boxes, and it's for the internet company to boost the power of electricity for internet. At least that's what I gathered. The plug end that came off of, this is an American plug, but it's not for the house apparently. I don't know what the hell they would plug that into, but it's definitely different, shall I say. And it's got some number 2 insulated copper wire on it, but this is very big insulated copper wire. Rather, the copper inside of it is much bigger than what you would find inside of your average power cable number 2 copper wire. I don't know what the percentage on this would be, but it would still be low. But it's big enough that I didn't want to toss it in with my number 2 copper wire, which would have been $1.20 something when I brought it in yesterday. So greetings and welcome back to greetings and welcome to my work area that I've got in the backyard. It looks messy, but it's been far worse. I promise you that. And I've got it nice and organized. I got a bucket of brass stuff over there. Cardboard is garbage. Not garbage, it's recycling. It's all of my brass. It's in my brass. Some stuff just ain't worth taking apart. Telephone. I'm curious to know what's inside of the telephone. These things are real pain to take apart, these kiosks. I've taken at least 2 apart, or 1, but the shell does not want to come apart, and when you do get the shell apart, you're probably going to break that screen, so you could tape it up with some painter's tape. But then even still, the screen has been like glued somehow onto this back piece. So the back piece was screwed to the inside, right? But it's been glued, so you can't. How do you get the screen off to be able to unscrew those screws? So like even once you get this 2-part shell apart, where's my trash bin? Yeah. So you got your shell, and this thing sits down inside of it like that. Pretty sure. Yeah. No. If I got it backwards. No. Okay. So yeah, the shell sits together like that, and then the screen sits on front of it. So you're like, okay, I'm gonna get this apart, but no, you can't, because these screws are still screwed on there. But I want to get at those ribbons. Gold. Nope. Focus. Gold ribbon. Gold connector, and you probably can't see that, but that's very, very lightly gold. So yeah, I guess I'll just painter's tape these up a little bit. Can we get, yeah. Greetings and welcome back to another episode of Moxie Bashwell and the Adventures of Real Life and Stuff. We're at 10 minutes. 10 minutes, 1 second. Thank you all again for joining me on the XM Intelligent Cable UPS 2 Transformer Module. It's even got a little breaker. So add that to your pile of breakers that you need to break apart with a hammer. IC chips, nice heat sinks, some more transformers, a bunch of aluminum breakage. You ask your scrapyard, hey, do you guys take these as aluminum breakage and or irony aluminum? Irony aluminum was 50 cents the other day. And so if they only take power board, so we only take low grade boards. You could give them one of these gold plated ones. They're only going to give you low grade price for it, which is bogus. For whatever it is. I don't know. I haven't asked in a while. 15 cents, 20 cents, maybe it's at 25 cents. But if aluminum breakage is at 50 cents, I don't see any reason why you shouldn't just pull all these off and throw them in a bucket. Including that one. The big one in there. Yeah. See? Yeah. So, thank you all for joining us join us all again next week, perhaps next month, for another episode of Moxie Bashwell and the Adventures of Real Life and Stuff. And it could be quite possibly something. And now for something entirely different. I don't know. Should I go 15 minutes? Does that mean that I get to get monies from the YouTubes? This is my shred pile. I collect all my screws and put them in a big protein bucket. It's a little workstation in my car. I got my pliers and my scissors and a bunch of iPhones that I need to take apart. And I got an extra magnet. iWatch. Extra magnet, sorry. I'm not looking at the phone. I'm looking at I got this from the linemen's union, the electrical linemen's union, and this is one of the most useful tools. I was stripping wires with this, like slashing them with that, and maybe cutting plastics and stuff with that end down here. Slip that in, it fits in your wallet, and I guess you can measure stuff with it, and it's a multi-tool card, but, Cellcat, apprenticeship training, I got a sharpening stone in there. These are the iPod, ear pod boos. I don't know if they're going to be worth taking apart, but depends on who you ask. I separated out all my connector ends as best I could. This is probably the least separated of the connector ends of different variety. These are the ferrite cores. Then these are like actual wire rubber ends. Then audio jacks and such. Could, if I wanted to, probably, most of those could be broken down for brass, I guess. And then your little clippy-doos, the brass clippy-doos. I forgot to ask the scrapyard if they'll take these as dirty brass and not connector ends, because connector ends are like... The point of me telling you all of this is that I got the plugs separated. I could rip all these off, but that takes some time, and you could get a pound of clean copper out of, or brass out of it. And then these are the ones that don't have the ends. Like, my hand is in the way, fingers are in the way, my face is in the way. So they take those 20 cents a pound for these things. Even they said, yes, we'll take those. You did a really good job at organizing. We are impressed with your organization skills. And I'm like, well, thank you very much. I appreciate it. And then these are my gold connector ends, as best I can. And then, but the problem is with those little ones, you have to be careful because some of these little ones, as the light fades, some of these little ones are not just brass, they are gold-plated brass. So I try and separate those out as best I can, and have been inspired by, I believe his name was a Mr. Patrick. He's an Irish dude. Is it Patrick Williams? I don't want to get his last name wrong because that's his full name is his YouTube channel. And these are the little connector ends from Wi-Fi and routers, and so I need to start making a jar of these separately. And yes, there's brass in here, and I could take the time to clip them out, but I'm probably just going to bring them to the recycling center as is. As I haven't gotten that far in my scrapping life that I need to do that. So yeah, we got a cool, interesting topics. Thanks for Shark Scrapper on telling me how to take this thing apart. The same day I picked it up, Shark Scrapper puts out a video on how to take these things apart. And the telephone is probably worth taking apart, even though most people say that it's not. And I know Scrapping Irish and Mike Scrapper and those dudes are cool. And I'm past 15 minutes. So join us all again next week on another episode of Moxie Bashwell and the Adventures of Real Life and stuff. And thank you very much. I appreciate it. I took apart a metal detector, yo. This is like the little arm thing. It's aluminum. And then the box, I need to bust all the rivets and stuff out of it. This thing was really useful for unwinding a spool of number 2 copper wire. Just kind of like slide it on there and walk around the yard with it. That was cool, right? It's cool, right? That's cool, right? All right. Also this, you would think that that's an aluminum heatsink, but it's actually white ceramic porcelain. And I was kind of upset. But at the same time, you could set that down on your countertop and put hot dishes on it. Yeah, that's cool, right? You know, it's probably, it's a square. I don't know. I got a measuring tape. Should I pull the measuring tape out for the sake of, and then all your little ferrite. This is my little orca. He's an orca. It goes on a bicycle tire. Ferrite cores. I wonder if the scrapyard has a separate category for ferrite cores, and this is a plexiglass out of a monitor or a TV that I'm using to keep the water off of that for whatever reason. I mean, they've been marinating out here for a year, so yeah. Adventures of Real Life and stuff. It's 3.5, roughly. Just under 3.5 by the same. Yeah, it's cool, right? Okie dokie, lemon smoky. Thank you all again for joining us this week's episode of Moxie Bashwell and the Adventures of Real Life and stuff. Join us again all next time for something entirely different.